The Vietnam War pushed US weapons to their limits in jungles, tunnels, and brutal close combat. This video showcases every major American weapon that defined the conflict. We start our list with rifles and carbines. M16. This was the new standard. Numerous variants were produced during the Vietnam War. Early jamming issues caused serious problems, but it ultimately became the defining icon of the conflict. Next, M14. This was heavy and hard to handle in the thick jungle. It did not stay the primary rifle for very long. M1 Garand, a legendary rifle from World War II. It was still seeing action during the early years of the conflict. M1 Carbine, lightweight and very handy for support troops. It was the perfect size for fighting in tight spaces. Next, Stoner 63, highly modular and way ahead of its time. It was mainly used by the Navy SEALs. Moving on to snipers. M40, the bolt-action choice for Marine snipers. It was incredibly deadly and accurate at long ranges. Next, M21, based on the M14 design. This rifle gave Army marksmen a much-needed semi-automatic edge. M1903A4 Springfield, a World War II-era sniper rifle, was still used during the Vietnam War, serving US marksmen operating quietly through dense jungle terrain. Winchester Model 70, a favorite of legendary marksmen. This rifle was simple, sturdy, and incredibly precise. Continuing with machine guns and automatic weapons, M60, often called the Pig, it provided heavy fire for the squad but was a real beast to carry through the mud. M2, Browning, the legendary 50 caliber machine gun, dominated the Vietnam War, shredding enemy positions when fired from vehicle and helicopter mounts with overwhelming firepower. The next one, M1919A6, a modified light version of a classic design. It was getting old but still packed a significant punch. The next one, M1918 Bar, the heavy hitter from the World Wars. It offered serious firepower for a single soldier on the move. M134 minigun, capable of firing thousands of rounds per minute, became iconic in the Vietnam War, turning jungle nights into a terrifying wall of lead from helicopters. Next up, submachine guns. M3, grease gun, cheap to make and easy to use. It stayed in service long after anyone expected it to retire. The next one, Thompson M1A1, the classic submachine gun. It was quite heavy but very reliable in close quarters combat. Smith & Wesson M76, developed specifically for clandestine operations. It was a compact choice for special forces teams. Carl Gustaf M45, often called the Swedish K, was favored during the Vietnam War for its exceptional reliability, performing flawlessly in wet, muddy jungle conditions. Ingram Mac-10, this was extremely small and incredibly fast-firing. It was mostly seen in the hands of specialized units. Madsen M50, a simple submachine gun with a folding stock, saw limited use during the Vietnam War, but proved effective and maneuverable despite its compact size. Now let's look at shotguns. Ithaca Model 37, a reliable pump-action shotgun. Its bottom ejection port kept dirt and debris out of the moving parts. Remington 870, a civilian favorite that went to war. It remains one of the most trusted shotguns ever produced. Winchester Model 12, an older design that still worked perfectly. It was known as a great repeater for clearing the jungle. High Standard Model 10, a unique bullpup shotgun design. It was semi-automatic and very compact for fighting in tight spaces. Let's move on to handguns. M1911A1, the sidearm that defined an era, was widely carried during the Vietnam War, valued for its stopping power and trusted after decades of service in leather holsters. Smith & Wesson Model 10, a standard-issue revolver. It was simple, sturdy, and almost never failed when it mattered. But Smith & Wesson Model 39, one of the first modern 9mm pistols. It was used by specialized teams for its slim profile. Next, Browning High Power, a high-capacity classic. It was used by various forces for its excellent feel and reliability. Now this is the High Standard HDM. This suppressed pistol was whisper quiet. It was the primary choice for top-secret missions. QSPR, designed specifically for Vietnam War tunnel rats, a quiet special-purpose revolver, firing tiny tungsten pellets for deadly effectiveness in cramped underground combat. M1917 revolver, a massive handgun from World War I. It was still used by some troops because of its stopping power. Continuing with grenade launchers, M79, nicknamed the Blooper. It gave the common infantry squad the portable power of a mini mortar. M203, grenade launcher. mounted beneath a rifle barrel, became vital in the Vietnam War, allowing soldiers to instantly switch from rifle fire to explosive grenades in jungle combat. Up next, Mark 18, a specialized grenade launcher for riverboats. It rained high explosive rounds down on enemy positions. Mark 19, a belt-fed monster that fired grenades like a machine gun. It was devastating against light armor. Next up, anti-tank and support weapons. M72 Law, a lightweight anti-tank weapon, was widely used during the Vietnam War, valued for its portability and ability to deliver powerful single-shot fire against enemy positions. M20 Super Bazooka, an upgraded classic. It provided the heavy punch needed to take out reinforced bunkers. M67 Recoilless Rifle, a portable 90mm gun. It was heavy to carry but destroyed hard targets with ease. M40 Recoilless Rifle, often mounted on the back of jeeps during the Vietnam War, delivered massive firepower, capable of destroying enemy fortifications and hardened positions. M2 Flamethrower, a terrifying weapon for clearing bunkers. It was dangerous for the operator but cleared tunnels very fast. Moving on to mortars. M224, a lightweight mortar for the front lines. It provided quick indirect fire support whenever it was needed most. M29, a medium mortar that hit very hard. It was essential for defending remote fire bases at night during the Vietnam War. M30, 4.2-inch mortar, was heavily used during the Vietnam War. Difficult to move but delivering devastating explosive power against enemy positions and jungle fortifications. And our last category is hand grenades and mines. Mark II, the classic pineapple grenade. It had been around for decades and was still clearing out rooms. M26, shaped like a lemon for a more predictable burst. It became the primary grenade for most infantry soldiers. M67, fragmentation grenade. A modern spherical design, was widely used in the Vietnam War, easier to throw and highly effective, producing a powerful, lethal blast. M18 smoke grenade, used to signal helicopters or hide movement. It came in many colors for different radio codes. M34 white phosphorus, known as Willy Pete. It created intense heat and thick smoke to flush out the enemy. And M14 TH3, an incendiary grenade for destroying equipment. It burned hot enough to melt right through solid steel. M18A1 Claymore, a directional explosive, was widely used in the Vietnam War, hurling steel balls forward to devastating effect while defending perimeters and ambush sites. M14 Mine, a small anti-personnel blast mine, was used during the Vietnam War to defend perimeters, maim enemy troops, and slow advances through jungle terrain.